Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be talking about chapter 1110 of One Piece. But before we get into that, a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. First of all, this fresh jacket you see me wearing right now was gifted to me by my sister. It's fucking fire. Check this shot out. I'll go over it maybe at some other video, but you got Sunny. No, not Sunny. Yeah, Sunny, Mary over here. Battle Frankie 30. So this is so clean. She got me one. She got herself one so we can twin. So yeah, this is a really, really dope gift. I think it looks fresh. So shout out to my sister. Thank you, maybe I love you. What else do I want to talk about? I didn't release a video last week. I apologize about that. I'm just gonna keep it a stack with you. I didn't want to talk about that chapter. I wasn't really motivated to talk about that chapter. It wasn't a bad chapter, but I've said this. I said this way earlier on in my YouTube career, but I hate reading manga week to week, especially One Piece. I do not think One Piece is best served week to week. I think it's something that is meant to be enjoyed on a full read through. And I've said this before that also if you go One Piece's peak isn't now or and it's not going to be when it ends. One Piece's peak is when people go back and reread the entire series with the context that they get from the end. And I think that's what it'll have it's like second awakening type. Anyway, if you haven't been here before or you have but haven't done so already, would greatly appreciate it if you could do your boy a solid like, share, subscribe. Would mean the absolute world to me. Please, thank you. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into this review.
頑張れそう頑張れ諦めないで口笛吹きさ歩き出そうよ Going now.
So I want to touch a little bit on chapter 1109. We're not going to spend too much time there. Like I said, I skipped it because not too much happened. Literally, it was a posturing chapter. To be honest with you, this chapter is kind of a posturing chapter. I'm not saying that things didn't happen and that it still wasn't an enjoyable chapter and we didn't get tidbits of information here and there, but it's just a posturing chapter. Oda is trying to set up stakes, build tension, and so that's kind of working right now. We have 10 minutes before whatever secret Vegapunk has to share gets broadcast and transmitted to the entire world. If and when that happens, because obviously it's going to happen. We already had the narrator already told us that essentially that it was going to happen. What is going to happen in the world? How is this going to change the fate of the world, right? And then on top of that, so we get to check into all the different islands, all the past, allies we've made, friends we've made, enemies we've made, how they're all reacting to the situation. We're getting to see in real time how everyone around the globe is going to react to the information, and we're going to see the ripples that are created and what those ripples lead into, right? All of last chapter was just kind of a lead up into all of that. And then we get a summoning circle, bada bing, bada boom, and all of a sudden, all five Gorosei are here. And it was like a really simple thing to happen, but a really monumentous thing to happen in the fact that, the Gorosei and Imu themselves have determined that what is happening right now is so not okay. So absolutely we have to dead this. We have to stop this right now. That they sent all of them there. It's one thing to see one Gorosei member, and Oda already set that up for us. But then for all five to show up into action, what Vegapunk stands to reveal is going to be something game changing. And it just for at least me, myself, the reader, I would assume for you guys as well, it just really drastically raises our craving, our desire for what is the secret? What are we about to find out? How is this going to change the entire game, the world, everything we know? How is this going to turn everything on its head? And so Oda is a master craftsman when it comes to that kind of thing. So we'll start there. Another thing I want to talk about, I kind of breezed on by, was the cover story. I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very excited that we are doing cover stories again. Okay. So last chapter we had a cover story where we saw Onigashima sunk at the bottom of the you know, it submerged in water, okay? And so it's like, how did it get there? Why did it get there? What is the relevance of it being there? I don't know, and I can't wait till we find out. I've been listening, watching other YouTubers. Some of them think, when Momonosuke put it there, I'm kind of wondering like what would be the point of that. But then I kind of do understand that it is kind of a constant reminder of Kaido's reign to the rest of the people. It's an omen. It's something like they would rather forget. It's a trigger for them. So maybe he decided for the betterment of the future of Wano to get rid of this like disgusting landmark of the past. Although you probably would have people that would argue with you that you kind of want that kind of thing to stay to remind you of what was and what can happen and what to like avoid. You know what I mean? So who the hell knows? But that's my 2 cents on the matter. So then we have another cover story, and it is Yamato and Momonosuke. And Yamato basically is saying she's gonna go around Wano. She's gonna be like Odin, travel around and experience what he experienced and that kind of shit. A little weird to me. She's still on this Odin kick. I'm thinking about doing a video where I talk about some things that I have not liked, some like decisions Oda has made. I'm not the writer of One Piece. I don't think I could do better, but I'm just gonna be honest and be like, there's a couple things here or there that like some decisions, the promises made that I feel were not properly done well. Maybe he'll do them in the future. Maybe like it's not for me to know. But like I'll give you an example, so I'm not as vague. One thing is like I feel perturbed and bothered by not only the fact that like Momonosuke's childhood was robbed from him. Like you guys have to realize he didn't experience the 20 years that he skipped. He was this age, skipped 20 years. Like for him, it was like that. Everyone else experienced 20 years. For him, it was like that. And so like I kind of feel fucked up that Oda kind of robbed this kid of his childhood. Now you can't say it's duty over everything, but at the end of the day, like this dude was robbed of his childhood. Where's his free will in that? It's all about doing what you want, and like he's doing something for like the betterment of like mankind. So I'm like, it's really confusing at times. Like, what are you trying to tell me here, Oda? Another thing that I always had problems with. Once again, Wano was a very, very conflicting arc for me. I'll just say that. But another issue that I always had was with the shit that happened with the Kurozumi clan. There was never any, in my opinion, real reconciliation. Because what people, in my opinion, don't talk about enough, it kind of feels like, oof, let me not go there. I was gonna go into like a real world thing, and I'm like, let me not be political. Let me not sabotage my channel before it has a chance to, take off. But like, it just kind of baffles me. Like, yeah, we know the Kurozumi kind of sucked. Yeah, like there were some assholes in the Kurozumi that we don't like. There was the woman with the original face fruit and stuff like that. There's Orochi who's the scumbag. Like, don't get me wrong, I get that. But will people acknowledge? Will people actually like actually acknowledge the fact that like a genocide happened to them? Like a genocide happened to them. Like, yeah, there were shitty people in the clan, but not all of the clan is bad. Which was what I thought the point was with what's her name? Otoki? Not Otama, but yeah, I think Toka. Toka. Yeah, Toka, right? Like I thought the whole point of Toka was like she's a Kurozumi, but like she's cool people. And so like that was never really reconciliated. I know that like a lot of people have been like, well, at the end, the Kurozumi were meant to burn or whatever the fuck it was. Like it didn't mean like as a whole, but I don't know. It left me feeling the wrong way. It left me feeling a little bit perturbed. So like you get my point? So that's all I have to say on the matter. Anyway, that was a negative. Let's move to a positive. Something that I was super, super, super happy about was Zoro was redeemed this chapter. I was so fucking ecstatic about that. Because let's be real. I literally just had an argument on in my comment section the other day on my last video with someone trying to come for Zoro, trying to say like obviously he's not as strong. Obviously he wouldn't be able to beat Lucian. I was like, whoa, chill the fuck out. Calm down, sir. Like I agree that I too am disappointed in him that like this match is not going how I'm one of those people. I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of those Zoro stands that was like, two sword, he got this. Two sword, he got this. You don't even two sword, he got this. And I know it was crazy in hindsight, it was crazy to say, especially because Luffy like went almost straight into like ran almost straight into Gear 5 to fight him. So it's kind of like, why would Zoro fight him at a handicap when Luffy like went at max? I know Zoro fans were kind of like that. Okay, I can see it at times. I can see it. But my thing is, there's still no way. There's still no way this nigga Lucci is giving him problems. That shit was bothering me. That shit was fucking bothering me. So I was so happy that, Jinbei shows up. Actually, I'll give you an actual live update to update of like my emotions at the time. So Jinbei is showing up, right? Jinbei is showing up. And then what's it called? He says, "Oh, I see him. There Zoro is. He's occupied with Lucci." Sanji talks his shit, as Sanji will fucking do, as is the dynamic between Sanji and Zoro. Immediately see Zoro hear that shit talk, say, "Hey, what? I'm a burden. I'm holding back the crew. Shut the fuck up, shitty chef. Watch this." Gets that third sword out, and fucking Zantoryu does a play on, Madara being spotted. Does a play on his Madara Shogun or whatever the fucking attack Lucci's about to do. Does his own, I think, Lion's Hunt or whatever, but like converted for Lucci, and one shots him. And I was like, thank you. Stop playing with your food. Put him away, Zoro. Don't let these people play with you. We've been sitting quietly. We've been watching all these memes, all this shit talk, all this fucking slander, and you fucking told them like, hey yo, y'all must have forgot who the I am. I am Zoro. I do this. I got them swords. I got blades, and it is nothing. And I'm so happy he did that because I'm not gonna lie to you, Zoro fans were sweating. We were sweating. I don't think he's a fraud. I don't think he's a fraud, but I know how these motherfuckers on the internet think. I know how they think, and I knew, and I knew that it was going to be hell. And so I'm just glad it's over. Now that it's over, now that we know that Zoro could handle him. Also, still no bandana. I just want to say that because y'all thought I was coping. I said, hey, to be honest, he's not using the swords. He doesn't have the bandana on. I don't think he's taking serious. Why wouldn't he be taking it serious? All right, we can address that criticism. It is a valid fucking criticism. It is a great criticism. Why the hell? Why the hell was he wasting fucking time? Now, part of me, once again, I'm gonna rush to my man's conclusion. That's what you do when your homies with someone. You try to defend them. You try to like think, you try to think, try to see the best in them, right? So I'm like, why is he wasting time? I was like, what is the objective? In my opinion, I thought we were all trying to get off this goddamn island. I thought we were trying to get Sunny, to get everyone together, get the out of Dodge. Okay, that's what I thought. So I'm like, maybe, I don't know, Zoro can be kind of stupid times. We can admit that. We know that. We know that about our boy. I thought that maybe, Zoro's trying to stall for time. But I'm like, why are you stalling for time? And why is that more efficient than taking this man's out, putting him in a bubble or, incapacitating him some other how, and then going out and figuring out what the hell is happening? I know for a fact your observation hockey not so weak. You cannot feel what the fuck is going on outside. You couldn't. You don't tell me you sense Luffy going Gear 5. Kizaru being there, freaking this ominous other fucking hockey show up. Like you didn't feel that shit, my dude. And then on top of that, a little bit later, like 5 other things show up, and like there's like chaos going on. Like there's no way that like I know that it's probably a little bit far removed, but you are not hearing all this go down and do not think that you need to stop playing with your food and put this man away. So you're my dude. I love you. So, Zoro over Sanji every day. But do better, my guy, because you let us down for a little bit. You can do better than that. You had us looking kind of weird out here. You had people looking at us crazy. So take that on the chin. But no one can say that he didn't handle it. All right, saw that he put him away. one tapped him, like one shot him, like y'all all saw it. We're good, okay? We're good. He handled that. So that's awesome. Anyway, let's get back to like what the most important thing going on right now is, and that's all the Gorosei showing up. My man pulled out, main character power, MC power, Nakama. I believe in my friends, and summoned the homie. Right. I was watching another video. I think it was from fucking Mr. Mord. And Mr. Mord was like, I think saying that people thought it was gonna be like the Sky Knights. No, that made no sense. First of all, they literally showed us the Gorosei. I think no, that made no sense. Anyway, they summoned the Gorosei, and I'm still trying to figure out if the summoning is, I don't know, a unique power to what's his name, Saturn, if it's something shared amongst the Gorosei, but that doesn't make sense because Saturn was the one who said he was setting up the transformation. If it's something of Emu's, if it's just something unrelated and some kind of dark. Personally, I was thinking about doing a video about this, but I really don't get to like side projects that often. But I saw a video by I think it was Mr. Morge again saying that they are actual demons. I'm thinking, that's like the obvious go to, and like that's probably like what they are. But I'm thinking, what if they're homunculi, right? Because Oda likes to do this subversion, right? And so what I'm thinking is potentially, hear me out now. What I'm thinking is just like these clones, like how Oda and Vegapunk are trying to impress upon us that these clones and stuff, all these not artificial intelligence, artificially beings, how they are actually undeniably, unmistakably people in their own right. They have their own will, spirits, what have you. I think we're gonna see kind of the opposite with Emu and the Gorosei, where they are also artificially created beings, but they lack soul. But their wills, but their spirits cannot be passed on, and that's why they live forever. And I also think it's gonna come back to that kind of like mortality kind of lesson that we've been taught since childhood. One thing I've always seen in so much media, especially with vampires, right? The law, like when you have eternal life, the longer life you have, the more meaningless your life becomes. Like we're told constantly, we're assured and try to reiterate it, reiterate it again. Like what makes us mortal, what makes life meaningless is death. Life, like the erasure, taking of it, right? And so I think what unites us all with, no matter whether these clones are artificially made or not, is that they do have that their time will come. And I think that Emu and Gorosei do not have this. And so what is going to be a lesson, what's going to be have when you have this mortality surgery, when you live forever, your life becomes meaningless. It becomes not, you no longer get reincarnated in the cycle of like will, spirits, souls, and that is true death. You will not be remembered. All these other things. And so I think that's like the grander scheme of what Oda is going for. At least I hope so. Who knows? I'm not. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about a couple of things. I'm not gonna go too deep into like lore and stuff like that, but I will say the designs of these things look crazy. I can totally understand why Sabo was like, we are in hell. We got, so after the Gyuki, we got the boar that's Oki. We got this. It's not. I think it's a nade or Natse or whatever, and it's a fucking like sky serpent. But I'm gonna be real with you. It reminds me of one of the cranes you would see out of a Miyazaki film. We have what oh, the Bakutsu or Bakoto or whatever. That's my favorite. I've always, honestly, I'm just biased to swordsmanship and samurai and stuff. And ever since I saw, uh, like swordsman Gandhi, uh, whatever, I've always been excited for his fights. Like whenever he was gonna get to fight, and we do see that he does use the sword, and I like his fighting style of he dashes at people in his full Zoan form, and then whenever he has to actually strike, transform into his hybrid form, which is kind of like centaurish and like cuts. And the thing that took me up most is his cuts have the same like visual effects that Oda draws for Brook when Brook is using his like soul solid powers, where he channels the chill of the underworld, and the Makoto is literally like a skeleton horse. And so there's definitely a connection there. I can't wait to see it because it does seem like there is a canon certified underground underworld. Uh, uh, Brooke has been there. Other characters have talked about it, so we're gonna learn more about that. Also, I'm wondering why Zoro has all these like Hades attacks and like being the underground attacks. Why we haven't really seen like ice power moves from him. So who knows? And but yeah, like I said, the one reminds me of Miyazaki film with the crane head, and then the last one we have is this earthworm, right? And worm spelled with a WYRM, which is like just basically like a legless, wingless, like a appendageless and wingless dragon. Like, that's what I've always understand worms to be. I found out the other day wyverns are dragons that have legs, wings, no arms, and then you have drakes, and I think drakes are dragons that have no wings. So like, there's like a whole like mythology to this shit, right? So a worm is essentially like think like Kaido, like a dragon. One thing in particular I find really interesting about the Gorosei though is there has to be some kind of catch with them. I don't believe that they're devil. I know we're seeing hybrid forms and all kind of other stuff, but like some of their powers just seems out there. There's just so many things that are different. There's so many things that are within their little niche are too similar. They seem dark. We've seen some really scary things in One Piece. We've seen some really disgusting things in One Piece, but we've never seen something as ominous and disgusting and just like scary and dark and mysterious as this. Usually, characters in One Piece are very colorful. Even when discussing, like I think of like the snot dude in Doflamingo's group. I can't remember his name at the moment. There's been like some really like icky characters, but these dudes, for the first time in my opinion, really look dark, really look demonic, really look scary, really look like something not of this manga, something completely out of a night. And if Delphi are people's dreams and desires, like of course there is going to be some kind of antipose. Of course there's going to be some kind of opposite, completely an- antithesis kind of like existence to what the main heroes, what the ancient civilization believed that led up to all this, right? So yeah, man. I'm wondering if the Gorosei are homunculi. I'm wondering if these are devil fruit zone abilities or if these are you know demon fruits. No, maybe if these are the original devil fruits, and what we call devil fruits actually aren't devil fruits, are like god fruits or dream fruits, something of that nature. So we have so much to learn, so much to find out. There's a scene where one of the earthworms devours Luffy, and our homies Dory and Bragi immediately slash that thing in half. Let our boy Luffy out. They say this is not time for today. They do some attack the sun. They saw it's like the sawing sun, which can also mean like not the fallen sun. Yeah, it has a double entendre. Which, by the way, I really want to say I really wish manga did something that I think the fan translation do really well. And whenever a mangaka uses like puns or intentional double meaning in their words, they put the like pun they put the pun thing as the main translation, and then in some kind of footnote they'll let you know that the conjugation or the form that he used in a particular setting could also mean blah blah blah, so it's meant to be a blah blah. Put some kind of appendix or something inside of manga. I guarantee fucking that the audience will love it. That's one thing that I personally loved when it came to fan translations over official translations, was those little like editor translator footnotes that like put you in, because you have to be real. If you're not a Japanese reader, you are not actually getting 100% of the experience that is One Piece. Oda loves his puns, he loves his entendres, he loves his double meanings, playing with the kanji and katakana and romanji of the words and stuff like that. And I want to be part of that. I want to get the jokes that he's putting in. I want to get the hints and the tips and the clues that he's right. So yeah, they cut out our boy Luffy. Luffy's excited to see him. He instantly recognizes Dorian Bragi. Dorian Bragi are happy to see him, not only because he is Luffy, but because he's the sun god. I can't wait for exposition where they finally like get to a safe place and talk amongst themselves. I can't wait to see how they get out of here. I'm not. I think this is going to be kind of crazy because I think what people are going to do or end up doing something along the lines of like power scaling Dorian Bragi the fuck up, and then it's going to cause a lot of issues because let's be real, we met them way early in their series. They weren't that strong. I mean, they were relative to us, and like in hindsight, we really didn't fuck with them that much. And they were always going to appear strong because the giants like come the hell on. But they're going to have talks about people power scaling up Mister Three for being able to capacitate them. Even the one was poisoned, the other one. It's going to cause some issues in the community. Let's just leave it at that. But I think this just goes to support the law. Sorry about that whole long-winded thing, but I think it's gonna go to support the thing I said last time, where I don't think that the Gorosei are necessarily these like tremendously OP powerful beings. I think it's purely just gonna be an annoyance thing that they have durability and regeneration. I think it's no issue to hurt or wound them, but them staying down is going to be problematic, and there's going to have to be some niche, some kind of nuanced ability or power or strategy that needs to be implemented to take care of them. I think that what the main characters are going to Ido, which is like legitimate, like fierce, strong fighters, strong in hockey and their abilities and all that. I think the Gorosei are going to do a roach, but end game, but end game. So like your average Joe Schmo has no chance to get them, but the elites who do stand a chance to get them, like they can easily like kill them or hurt them or wound them, but they're gonna keep coming. They're gonna keep regenerating. We already know that regeneration and endurance is a trait of awakened Zoans, but these are like super, super awakened Zoans, the ones that did it right, because the ones in Impel Down didn't even have the fucking cloud scarves, and these guys do, so they're true awakened. So I can only imagine that like Zoan lore goes doubly, get me, and they're mythical too. So yeah, man, there's a lot going on right now. That's the extent of the chapter. I kind of like ping ponged all over the place, but I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Honestly, I'm not gonna be, you know, excited about shit until I can hear the announcement that Vegapunk has. I want to hear the announcement that Vegapunk has. I want to see the reaction of the Gorosei, Imu, and the world to it. I want how the Straw Hats get out of here, what they need to do. I want to learn more about Giant. I want to see about what fucking Blackbeard's plan is, and what how Shanks takes all this. It's just yeah, just there's just so much to deal with, and I'm excited. So great time to be a One Piece fan. Thank you guys for tuning in. It means the world, and yeah. Anyway, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you guys coming out. Have a great weekend. Take care. This has been Otaku Talk. Sorry. This has been Otaku Talk. Me, your boy, your host, OD.